Hello and welcome. Today's episode is going to be a little different. If you're thinking, this doesn't look like the KrustyKraft realm, you'd be right. We're in a creative world to discuss something I mentioned in the last episode. I'm thinking about a new minigame. I haven't seen this in Minecraft anywhere, so I'm really hoping this is a world first. At any rate, I said I had wanted to work out how to reset the game after each run, and I now think I've done that. But before we get into what the minigame is, or how we can reset it after each run, let's call out a comment from you, the viewers. This episode's comment is from WallyPC745, and they say, "Love the looks of your base. Short and sweet and very much appreciated, WallyPC. Thank you. If you want a chance to be featured in the next episode, leave a comment below. I read every single comment that comes in, no matter how old the video is, and I'm grateful for all of them, so please do keep them coming." Okay, now what about this minigame idea? Picture this. The setting is either a motel or a hotel, depending on the height of the building. More on this later. If it's a motel, 2 stories tall max, we'll call it the Take It Inn. If it's a hotel, taller than 2 stories, we'll call it Hotel Heist. I think you have the gist of where this is going. For now, we'll call it a motel, the Take It In. Now, the motel is square, with rooms surrounding either a courtyard or a common dining area. And each side of the motel has 4 to 5 rooms. Here are some images of what I'm talking about. These are roadside motels. Inside each room is an armor stand and a chest. On the armor stand is random armor, or maybe a weapon or a tool. By random, I mean it may or may not be there, and if it is there, it can be leather or wood, chainmail or stone, iron, gold, diamond, or precious netherite. There are 2 teams. It could be either 1v1 or 2v2. Both teams start in the lobby or reception area, and when the game starts, the players have a limited time to go into as many rooms as they can and take as many items as they can. If you include what they can wear and carry, each player could conceivably return with up to 32 items, 27 inventory, plus the 5 that they could wear or carry. I'm assuming what we have won't fit in an offhand. I think 2 to 3 minutes is probably a good time limit to start with. We might need to adjust that, along with some other things along the way. Points will be based on the material type of each item taken and deposited into the stolen goods box back in the lobby. If you're not back to the lobby in time, you get 0 points. And if only some of your items get deposited in time, oh well. The collection of items will stop as soon as time is up. So if you still have things in the chest and they haven't been collected yet, you haven't gotten there in time, you don't get those points. Now, I don't yet have a system to automatically determine the winner, so teams will have to determine that manually. However, I have a design. It's just going to be a real pain to implement, and I want to get the game built so we can play it. I think we'll work on that part of it later. I have, however, worked out everything else we'll need. Let's take a look at the different components. So if you see the initials GR, it means it's a game reset system. EOG means it's an end of game system. Let's start with the building to do. For the room and the subfloor, for each room and subfloor height, I think it'll be around 10 blocks, and we're going to need about 7 blocks for the height of minecart stations. We're going to need to double that because we're going to have 2 sets of minecarts. And then we need about 16 blocks of depth. So it's going to be a pretty big building. Also, 4 to 5 rooms along each wall, which I already mentioned. And we may have to cover the courtyard, so it may be perhaps a common dining area. And then in the lobby, we're going to need a barrel, of course, to hold each player's inventory before they start. Now, no one should die in this game. If they do, that's on them. Now for the redstone components, let's start with the armor stands. Per wall, we're going to need a station to send 3 hopper mine carts to each room. This is the minecart station. Then for each room, we're going to need a station to load 3 items onto the armor stand. They're going to be all random, remember. Then we need a system to collect all extraneous armor. So let's imagine somebody doesn't take any armor. See, like this one here. If 3 new armor pieces come in, nothing's been taken off of this guy. So where will they go? They'll get collected down below and returned to the system so they can be used. Now for the chests, we need a way to empty all the chests, and we need a way to move those emptied items into this station that's going to send them all around to the different chests. And then in each room, we're going to need a station to load 3 items into the chest. So let's take a look at these things. First of all, let's look at the armor stand. See, I have glass blocks here so we can have more visibility, but the player will not be able to grab anything out of this dispenser here. Everything is going to get dropped down here, dispensed down onto the armor stand from above, and if anything is extra, it'll fall down into these hoppers and it'll come over here into this system. Now this system, the way I have it now, items will get shot up through the glass blocks. It'll fall over here into this water stream and then land in this hopper, and then we can take it from there. That's one way to do it. I think I might just use rail cart. So how do we get the items in? This is the distribution system. So each one of these lines of hoppers, each one of those is an armor stand down below there. Okay, one of those stations there is beneath each one of these. What's going to happen is the first minecart will go through, it'll pick up its items from the barrel, and it'll go and distribute them. There I have only 4 armor stands. He comes back to his position. The next one goes and comes back to the next position. And then the final one, he comes back to his position. And now the tracks are all reset back to where they started. And all of the items that were in here, well, not all, but 5, each of these should have 5 when it gets there, and it can only drop 4 because it's only passing over 4. So we should see some items in here. There are 3, there are 3, 3, and 3. Okay, now for the chests, well, they're going to be barrels, aren't they? Because we want to prevent entity lag. This barrel is going to take anything that comes here, and we're going to have the items get distributed just like this, but it's going to be for the barrels instead of the armor stands. That's it. Piece of cake. Alright, now this contraption is actually showing us 2 different mechanisms, 2 different systems, if you will, that will be used throughout the game. First of all, before a new round starts, we want to make sure all of the barrels are empty in each room so that everybody gets the same starting point. And there's a pulse extender at the back end of this. When that gets turned on or triggered to start the game or to prepare for the start, it will unlock and everything will fall out of the barrel down into the system, and then it will get sent back around up to where it needs to start. The second part of the system here is the hopper minecart loader. This will be part of the distribution system. Each hopper minecart will stop at one of these loaders, fill their slots up with 5 different items, and then go on their merry way and do their distribution. And that's every component covered. The motel is going to be quite big. I'm hoping all of this can be underground, and then we just send rails up through the attic to make all of this happen. All the rooms get filled in from above with just rails up in the attic and all the good stuff down below, and then we can have an outdoor courtyard with a swimming pool. Anyway, that's the plan. I'm really excited to hear what you think of this minigame idea. And if you're a member of the KrustyKraft realm and you want to help either dig some dirt or build a motel, please DM me because I need help. Thanks for watching this far. This episode's secret word is motel. Throw that in the comments to tell me you reached the end of the video and to confuse passersby. And be sure to get notified when the next video releases so you can follow our progress. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.